I think it would be nice to give everybody an idea of who we are and why we chose to kind of partner on this. So did you want to start by telling us a little bit more about the Leadership Book Club Challenge?
Yeah, so I'm super excited that you wanted to do this with me. And I know that we're always trying to find things to do together, and this will be a lot of fun. And I think, as we had talked about, it's a great way for us to really take all of the reading that we both do and really absorb it. So, originally I started a group on Goodreads, but I didn't know what to do with it. So it's just been kind of sitting out there. And then it was like, hey, 2020 is here. Been reading 20 something books every year, so let's spread that around and invite some other people to do that. So I'm as you know, but for everyone else's information, I've been business consulting for a couple of years. I'm really heavy on the process side, a lot of the technical information systems. I like to talk about strategy. So that's kind of the books that I find myself falling into and falling in love with. But I speed read them and then I put them down and I never go back and reread my notes and pull them into all the stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah, I see the same challenge with so many people that I talk to and that I coach. So I'm a business coach and I do some business consulting. But I've noticed through the years that the books that I actually practice are so much kind of, for me, you and I talk about, you're the technical, I'm the woo-woo. And I think that I've always been a really positive person and tried to create positive culture. But I really needed to make a connection for people to understand kind of what that means. And I found positive psychology, which is so helpful because it gives us science behind how to have positive engagement. So for me, I've traditionally worked with financial advisors who are very technical and brilliant. And when I try to help them with some culture or sales coaching or things, I've found a bunch of tools that I've been really enjoying. So it brings it, I can actually approach them and say less woo-woo stuff and more things around psychology and kind of the way that we are as humans. So I think you and I have a lot of the same philosophies around business and culture and role modeling. So it's really fun to actually look forward to a year of reading some books that we both perhaps already read and need to put into practice, and the ways that those books can really help us as our businesses grow.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second. The books that are on the list. So what we're trying to do here is have a book club. It's very informal, but we want to get together and have conversations about the books so that instead of just speed reading them, dropping to the side and moving on to the next one, we actually take the time to discuss it. What did you like? What did I like? I know that usually out of any book, there's some things that I really love and some things that I really just don't like, but I'd love to hear your take on what those things are. And maybe I'm missing the point. And so I know I can be a little bit critical sometimes. So I need your little positive voice to tell me that I'm being overly critical of something maybe. But then I would love to have other people join us to talk about their own experiences, if they actually have put some of those things into practice or if they learned something new. And then we can all take the reading that we could get, superficial meaning out of, and then really pull it in deeper into something, I'm all about, as you are too, and why I love working with you, is about making stuff actionable and making it stick. So some of the books are ones that I've already read. That was one of the things that we decided that we wanted to do, was to go back and pull back some of those books that were like, oh, this is awesome, and never really took the time to pull out those quotes and to really dig into the details and bring them back into our own practices. So we're starting off with books that we have already read.
Yeah, I think that's the fun part too. And thinking about how many conversations we've had in coffee shops around some strategy or something that's really lit us up. I think this will be a fun year to change those conversations, like you said, into actionable items. So I'm really looking forward to kind of pulling those. I love to have that list of best practices for a lifetime. And I also love that the goal at the end of the year is to use that 80-20 rule. I'm excited to invite some other people into the conversation. I think you and I have this great network of people that are smart, and kind of throwing them into the read a book with us and tell us what you think. I learned so much from other people's perspectives. So I'm really looking forward to putting somebody else on the spot on these.
Well, and I love to, like, let's bring some other people in and have real discussion around something, you know. Networking is great and everything, but a lot of times it's like, hey, how's it going? What's new? And then there's no framework to put the conversation around. So if we have this to kind of elevate that, I imagine after a 12 months of having these conversations with somebody, like how much deeper your connection might be, or how much more you might just know about that person, or how they're, what's going on with their business or whatever. We created a download for this group or club or whatever we're calling it, that lists all the books that we've decided to do, which is, we've really only picked 12, for one for every month where we'll have a discussion, and then we're leaving 8 of them open. Again, a little, I don't know if it's exactly 80-20, but there's a percentage for you to fill in your own. So if you don't want to always be reading leadership books 100% of the time, you have an option to fill in those 8 with whatever it is you want to read. Harry Potter, or I'm always reading leadership books. I don't even know what else is out there. So maybe someone could recommend something for me.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun year, but I think it's also practicing some self-care. I'll bring that into it, but those other books are important, and we get told so much what we should do. We really want to create some space for us to come together and work on our businesses, but also share some of our personality. And if that conversation is, hey, I just read this great book that has nothing to do with business, we want you to share that with Laura, especially since she agreed. But this is a little bit about having fun and some self-care, which is, I find conversations with Laura and people like Laura to be my self-care in business, and just kind of take a deep breath and be okay where I'm at in growth. So I'm really looking forward to this year.
Yeah, me too. So I think our goals are multifaceted, a little bit for ourselves to really get some deeper meaning and use out of reading so many books. But then also to bring in some other people into the fold. So our thinking on how we were going to do that is to record our discussions and invite people to join us in those discussions. So kind of like an online book club, I guess. And then we'll record those and save them in a playlist on YouTube. And then there is already a group, if you are on Goodreads, and if you don't know what Goodreads is, it's kind of, it's a social media for book readers, and you're able to log the books that you read. You can set up your own challenges, put book reviews. And so we'll use that as kind of maybe a platform to have some discussion as well, but then we'll promote it through LinkedIn.
She always takes me back to the technical aspects. I love
it. And you've been talking about all the people parts, so it's perfect.
It's a perfect marriage. Come read books. It's going to be fun. Yeah. And I'm giving Laura permission to laugh.
Yes. So you can grab the download. We'll both have it on our websites, and we'll be sharing it around. And the list of books will be in the description for this on YouTube. And, you know, we invite any business leader in general, someone who just likes to read business books, to come and have these discussions with us. We'll be doing them at the end of every month. So the plan is to tell you what we're starting with. And so, Lisa, while I'm talking, look up what we're starting with. And for January, we will be reading, drumroll.
We're going to be doing Organize Tomorrow Today. So we're going to start with some time management. It might help you with your getting your reading done on time.
Yes. So thank you. So we will read that one first, and then the last week of January, we will have our online discussion.
Sounds great, Laura. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Awesome. You too. I'm really looking forward to it.
Is that hard to rewind? Like,
yeah. This is the Wayne's World one.
So we forgot to mention something.
Yes, we want to let you know you don't have to read the book to listen in and hear what we have to say. And actually, if you just want the Cliff Notes and you don't care to read the book, then tune in and just listen to what we have to say, or whoever else is with us. And then you might want to read the book afterwards when we say all the great things about it. Or you might be glad you didn't when we say all the bad things about it.
A nice little review. And I think, especially if we pull other people in, you'll get enough of the content when we're pulling people in to make the decision whether you're going to read the book or not. I think that's helpful too. And hey, anytime somebody can consume for you and give you the short version is always a win.
So that's it. We just wanted to let you know, make that point that we want you to be involved even if you don't have the time to read the books, because we know that it is a challenge. I mean, let's just say it is a challenge, but you can do it. One of the ways that I have been able to do it is to pick up audiobooks. Lisa's very good about reading on paper.
But I think that's also how different we are. I make notes and think of ideas, and I go to sleep when I listen to audiobooks. So
yeah, and I'm the technology. I wanna put it in, ride my bike, go for a walk, but be doing something while I'm taking a break. So that's
all
it.
Personalities are welcome. And now we'll do that thing again. I feel like you did Scooby-Doo.
In the book club where we Scooby-Doo things.